All right, so have you ever wanted to do effective, relevant outreach and all you had was a list of company names? Let's walk through how you find the domains, how you pull information about the actual companies, and how you tailor relevant, personalized outreach messaging using Clay. So let's jump in here. So I've got a list and I've got the contacts and everything like that. I got the emails, but what I didn't have was the actual website addresses. So we have this nice little integration here. We have find company domain. So find company domain for company name. You know what's awesome about this too? It doesn't cost any credits. So that's even better when it's free, right? So company name, you just put in the company name here, right there. And I just click Save Settings. That's simple, right? And then I just run it, and it pops out this little column here, and it's fetching all the company domains. As you can see, it didn't fetch all of them. So in that case, what do? I have a fallback. So in the case that it doesn't catch all of them, what can I do? I can basically take the domain from the email address. You see after the email address here, we have these little domains, so we can grab them from there. So what I did is I created a formula column, and you just insert right, add enrichment, and I created this formula column. What it is it's basically using AI to take the email from the email column, split it out after the @ symbol, and include it. So that's what's going on there. And then what I did is I merged both the find domain and the formula into one single column, and that works basically like this. First try the domain that we found from find domain, and then try to insert from the one that we derived from the formula. So there we go. Now we have a list of merged URLs. So now that we have the URLs of the companies that we're looking to reach out to, we can take this information and figure out, okay, let's scrape their website and figure out who their ICP is, what they're selling, what their solutions are. Is there any recent news, anything like that? So now we go to the Clayagent module. So I have a little Clayagent, and here's what it looks like, right? Clayagent, I'm using my own OpenAI API key here to save on my Clay credits, but I have a little prompt like this. You're an expert analyst, and basically what I want you to do is go out there and find, look at the company name and URL from the merge column that we just did, and, basically return information on them. And the information that I get back is pretty nice because it's pretty solid. Check it out. So I get the ICP, I get the products and services that they're selling, I get the value proposition that they have, what makes them unique, and the overall analysis. So it's really sweet. This is good results. We can really craft tailored messaging now because we know basically about the business, right? So now I go to the tailored messaging outreach. Now this is interesting because what I'm aiming for is a 90% plus relevance rate across all the personalizations in the spreadsheet. So I want the messages to be at least 90%, I would say, personalized and highly relevant across all of the messages in this outbound here. And so what I did is I brought up my handy dandy little assistant here, and I basically said, hey, I want you to score. I went through some iterations, and all this here is prospect information, right? So I just literally copied and pasted all of these rows right in here so that the AI has the prospect information needed to make the assessment as to, on a score of 0 to 100, how relevant is this message, right? And so at the end of the day, I got like a 90 out of 100 for these different prospects. Mark G, 88. Renee Stevenson, 91 relevance out of 100. Sharad Sari, 92. Andrew, 90. Mark G, 88. So you see how it is? So we're getting a relatively high relevance score where the AI is looking at, okay, what is this person's job title? Obviously, it's looking at all this information. What does their company do? Where do they work at? What are the keywords in about the company? All this kind of stuff. So it's taking all of that into consideration and then looking at the final outreach messages. And that's how we're able to get, very relevant messages like these ones here. Let's walk through a couple of these. And these are based upon the person's role. So, hey, Shashardri, expansive role in transforming the environmental markets is phenomenal, especially with the CBL and H2OX offerings in San Francisco. See, this is the product basically that they're offering, and this is where they are offering it to in the market that they operate in. So obviously highly relevant from the get-go. I imagine you're dealing with the pressure from sustainability officers and compliance experts. So calling out their ICP who they work with, navigating the ever-shifting regulatory landscape. So picture this and then going into the value proposition, which is tailored to their role. Let's take a look at another one. Andrew, First Line Software is doing impressive work in custom software dev right in Cambridge. I bet you're seeing healthcare and logistics clients struggle with data management and the need for scalable solutions while trying to innovate. Mark, Agility Networks focus on tailored IT solutions in Chicago is impressive. I bet you're navigating challenges with security vulnerabilities and optimizing IT management for your SMB clientele, especially nonprofits. Innovate's expertise with Dynamics 365 in Tampa's manufacturing distribution sector is impressive. I bet you're focused on helping clients transition smoothly from outdated systems or wrangling those ERP integration challenges. Pretty in-depth personalization, I would say. And then going into the value proposition, okay? As a bonus here, let me give you a little secret to the game of achieving these type of messages. What did I do? Look, we gathered all this information already, right? We have the ICP analysis, very in-depth analysis about the company. We can take all this information, literally drop it into ChatGPT and say, hey, this is what I'm selling. I want you to write a highly personalized message to this prospect, right? I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here. A new ChatGPT instance. Let's dive into it. Info, and then I'm just gonna paste all the prospect info we have for this person here. Now what we can do is we can do this a number of times with a number of different prospects and create a number of different messages and then iterate on them. For example, I'll click submit right here. Hey Andrew, quick question. How's Xvan's site holding up in converting those small to mid-sized businesses supporting with your IT, given the scope of your service, like remote access or blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm not selling website design here, but what you then do when you have a message that you like is you go back into Clay and now you go into your prompt. And let me show you a secret here. I go to edit, but then what I do is I go down and I add some examples. So you go add examples. And since I took the first row, I'll just take row number 1 and choose a row. And I'll click on row number 1 and I'll click save. And now what that's gonna do is it's gonna pop up. I already have it saved in here. But what it's going to do is it's going to pop up the information and then you can paste the example. Like for example, I have it right here. I've got one for Matthew and then I put in my exemplar messaging example and I pop it right in here. So it's got all the title, company name, all this information plus my example message that I've tailored, you know, in ChatGPT. And I do this a number of times. You know, I did like 4 different examples here. And as you can see, that's how you can basically train the AI model on the perfect kind of messaging that you can use for your outreach. And man, I really like the results. I'm getting really highly tailored, highly relevant messages that I can really tweak. And if I don't like the outputs, like these are the outputs, right? If I don't like them, I can go back in and basically edit the exemplars, as I call them, the example messages that I've trained the model with to make them more perfect. In my case here, I like to give it a couple different guidelines. So I've said directives here, include specific details about the company's products, address precise pain points, mention target roles. So you can give it like specific directives. And I like to use HTML tag format. And that's the way you can basically, create super highly targeted, north of 90% relevant messages to any given target audience. I hope this is helpful. Travis here. Have a great time. Until next time. Bye-bye.